Let's bring in China analyst Gordon Chang. We also have senior policy advisor for China in the Indo-Pacific at the Heritage Foundation, Brian Burak. And with us on set throughout the day, former Republican congressman from the state of New York, Anthony D'Esposito. It's a pleasure to have all three of you here to kick off Monday afternoon. Gordon, I want to start with you, and I think what's going to be central to the meeting with Xi Jinping on Thursday. President Trump threatening 100% tariffs on China and their expanded export controls on rare earth minerals and related technologies. I think that's very big. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, this is basically a one-year truce. It ends just before the U.S. midterms, by the way, which should be interesting. But what's going to happen here is both sides are going to try to reduce their vulnerabilities to the other. I think we'll do better because President Trump's got some really important plans in place, including these deals on minerals and rare earths with Australia and with Malaysia and Thailand. On the other hand, China is going to double down on programs and policies that make China more vulnerable, more dependent on the U.S. But the one thing, Bob, that we've got to be concerned about is that we are, in fact, trading a substantial concrete benefit, which is not imposing the 100% tariffs in exchange for vague promises from China. We've done this many times in the past, and the Chinese always dishonor their agreements to us.
Brian, your take on all this and how it will play out?
I think that's exactly right. I think that essentially what China has done by expanding its economic war against the United States through this rare earth coercion is basically load a weapon and point it at any U.S. economic activity it wants. So this deal, it may holster that weapon for potentially up to a year, but fundamentally, China will always have that tool to use against us until we reindustrialize our country, until we develop the supply chains that we need that are free from China's coercion. And that's what the administration is seeking to do with these other deals that we're seeing to develop alternative supply chains for things like rare earth.
Congressman, your thoughts on that, on the rare earth?
Yeah, I think that this trip is what it's doing. It's really reaffirming the decisive power of the United States of America in the Indo-Pacific. And I think it's making, President Trump, but this trip is showing that he is putting America first, even globally. He's protecting U.S. jobs. He's protecting the U.S. economy, and he's also protecting technology to make sure that America is kept
There's
safe.
a place at the table for
yeah,
him.
And I think what's also important is he's still continuing on his crackdown on narco-terrorists, making sure that fentanyl is a big conversation when he's on this trip.
Yeah, of course, because that, even though he is attacking those boats, of course, in the Caribbean and in South America, we know it is all connected and goes back to China. So very important to keep both of those in play. Want to switch gears here a little bit. And actually, Congressman, I'm going to start with you. President Trump, as usual, he had a little fun. He likes to make people say, oh, okay. He was asked about a scenario in 2028 where he runs as vice president, and then the president would resign, allowing him to serve a third term. Watch.
You'd be allowed to do that, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I think it's too cute. Yeah, I would rule that out because it's too cute. I think the people wouldn't like that. It's too cute. It's not. It wouldn't be right.
And I'm chuckling because, you know he loves to troll people, of course. That's part of the fun. So I just am waiting to see headlines popping up. Trump considers running for VP. I mean, come on.
There is nobody better at trolling the opposition and those with Trump derangement syndrome than President Trump himself. I mean, and the fact is, the moment he said that, there were liberal progressive heads exploding all across the United States of America. And that's exactly what President Trump wants. And I think what's so important, and you've seen it over the last 72 hours on this trip, I don't think that there are many people that have had as much fun being president of the United States while still accomplishing so much for the United States of America than President Trump.
Do you think it's because he doesn't have to worry about re-election?
Listen, I think that he knows he's doing what's right. I think that he goes out there every day when he wakes up and heads out, whether it's in the White House, whether it's in the Indo-Pacific. He's doing exactly what he promised during his campaign. He's putting America first, and that's something to be proud of. And when you're proud of and enjoying the work that you're doing, you can have fun at it. And President Trump is showing that putting America first is actually fun.
Yeah.